back to AirSplat On Demand. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jake.
And as you will notice if you walk out the door, it is freezing outside, even here in sunny California. So, peep this AirSplat.com hoodie. Gotta love it. It's extremely cozy. I recommend it because a few minutes ago my teeth were chattering. But, aside from that, today we're reviewing the Snow Wolf M82 electric
sniper rifle. That's literally, there's really no other way to describe this than as a sniper rifle.
So obviously we're dealing with one hell of a sniper rifle here. What separates this bad boy from the rest of them?
Size? I guess size matters, huh? Well, on that note, I mean, clearly this replicates an actual Barrett M82, and the purpose behind, on an actual Barrett is to actually engage vehicles and equipment. Even though, guys still use it against people, it's really not supposed to be used that way, even though it does. Anyways, in any case, this pretty much, they did their best to replicate it. It's actually a bit smaller as far as the scale goes. Really hard to notice unless you've actually spent quite a bit of time around an actual Barrett. Unlike the SOCOM Gear one, which covers it almost exactly, this one actually, for a quarter of the price, it's well worth it to just go with that instead. So it's unbelievable as far as what we got available.
So what's the deal with this enormous orange tip we've got going here?
Well, it actually, again, because it replicates an M82, it uses a large muzzle brake because it fires a 50 cal round. I mean, clearly it's not going to fire an actual, it's only going to fire a 6mm plastic BB, but because we want to keep it authentic, we got to replicate the actual thing. This muzzle brake is so large is because the recoil created by a 50 BMG can really rock your shoulder. So it's designed to actually push the gun forward as the exhaust exits the muzzle. So that's what it's there for. Pretty much just aesthetic purposes. It looks cool.
Looks kind of like a spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And I'm liking the bipod we got going on here.
Yeah, it's built into the rifle. So definitely something necessary that you're gonna need. I mean, it's incredibly lightweight, but if you're more than likely going to be firing from the prone to use this rifle. So.
And I'm thinking this thing's probably about as tall as I am, so I don't know how effective I would be at running around on the field with it.
Yeah, So it actually uses a small type battery. Right now we got it set up with an 8.4, but it's stored back here. All you have to do is pull out these two pins, and this entire body slides forward, and it installs rather easy. You got plenty of room to jump up in milliamperage, and I think you'd actually end up needing it because, if it were me, I would jump up the spring. So you're going to need that extra amperage to pull that spring back to the rear. So.
It did look also when you had it apart earlier, it looked like it'd be really easy to get in there and work on the gearbox. Everything seemed
actually. It's a version 2 gearbox, so it's pretty simple to work on, and it's actually incredibly easy to pull out. Again, you just remove this top part right here, and then there's a couple of screws, and that's it. So that I find incredibly easy also, instead of having to try to dig your way through a gearbox, dig your way through a rifle to get to the gearbox. The Snow Wolf M82 was shooting at around 440 to 450 feet per second. Pretty heavy hitting gun if you ask me. So I definitely recommend getting a heavier BB like .25 or .28, even .3 gram BBs to stabilize them in flight. Even with a .20 gram BB, the accuracy is a lot less than desirable. It's still combat effective, but a bit sloppy for a sniper rifle. At 50 feet, the best we could do is a 6-inch group. Since this is a relatively cheap rifle, you can definitely take the money that you saved and dump it into upgrades. For instance, like a Type R barrel and an improved hop-up. And since it's a version 2 gearbox, there are plenty of upgrades available to improve the air seal and compression. As far as practicality goes, I guess that would be my biggest issue. Is it's so large that it's really just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lightweight, which is great. I mean, it's mostly aluminum, clearly.
It's light, but it's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
A lot of
I don't see, unless you're doing like some kind of like hardcore Milsim game, I really don't see it being used at like an actual field, like Hollywood Sports or something.
No. I feel like I'd probably trip over myself with this thing.
but it still looks pretty intimidating. I guess bringing that onto a field alone would be enough to turn some heads.
Yeah, bringing out the big guns.
Yeah. So overall, I was pretty impressed with it. I think it's something I wouldn't mind adding to my collection, especially based on the price alone. So I would go ahead and give this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I just think the price and then trying to apply that to something is really going to be the hardest.
I think for myself, I'd probably give it around a 3.5, 2. Like I said, the weight's it's decent weight, not too heavy, not too light. I like the bipod. It looks cool, it looks intimidating. There's a lot of rail space. Gearbox is easily accessible.
Yeah. Plus, we're the only retailer stateside that you're going to be able to find this at also. So that's one thing that we can definitely hold above the rest.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to our review.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.